Wait, hold on.
Hi, Lynn.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
Just lucky. Just lucky.
Are we all?
I think we're streaming. Go. You can go ahead. I'm gonna check.
Sure. We're recording, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. I'd like to call this meeting of the Oxford Planning and Zoning Commission, December 16, 2025, to order. First item on the agenda is the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, start off my list.
Sarah Watt, Joshua Dykstra, Jason Swan,
Dan Wall, Carl Bouchard,
Linda Kuklinski,
Jessica Pennell.
Steve McCary.
Kevin McSherry. All right, so we have one commissioner that's absent, he advises of his absence.
Yep.
We don't need an alternate, we don't have any, like, tonight anyway, so, so we'll move on. Comments from the chair, I don't have any comments at this point. We have approval of minutes of past meetings. We have 11/18/25 organizational meeting minutes. Somebody want to make a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion to approve the November 18, 2025 organizational meeting minutes.
a second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, then we have the 11/18/25 regular meeting minutes. Someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the November 18, 2025 regular meeting minutes of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that moves us on to our public hearing. Before we start the public hearing though, we have, these 4 documents, right, that need to be read into the record?
Well, they're part of the public hearing, so you need to.
All right, so we'll open this public hearing for C-25-129 Markey Road, MBL, I'm not sure what 2715AA is, owner Hartford Bloom, 12 Rick Meadow Road, Seymour, applicant Scott Bobank, Connecticut Residential Incorporated, Southbury. The application is for a 6-lot residential subdivision called Homes on Markey South. So we'll open the public hearing, and we'll have to get a few items into the record.
I have 4 items of correspondence to be read and entered into the record. The first one is a letter from the Housatonic Valley Health District to the Oxford Planning and Zoning Commission, Oxford, Connecticut. Reference homes on Markey Road South, re-subdivision map, MBL 27/15/8A. Dear Commission members, the Housatonic Valley Health District has received plans dated September 15, 2025 for review and approval. The plan was designed and submitted by Orville and Judson Land Surveyors and Associates. The plan shows 6 new lots, each containing a 4-bedroom dwelling with new septic, primary and reserve areas, as well as new well locations. Based on suitable soils observed on these lots, the HVHD approves the design for future development. The HVHD retains the right to request additional or confirmation test holes at the time of lot development. Sincerely, Jeff Andrews, RS Senior Sanitarian. The second item is from Mathis and Young Engineers, Inc., dated December 9th, 2025, addressed to Mr. Daniel Wall, Planning and Zoning Commission, Town of Oxford. Reference subdivision on Larkin Road, Oxford, Connecticut. Dear Mr. Wall, Nafis and Young Engineers, Inc., NYU, is in receipt of plans from Portal and Judson for the above referenced subdivision. We offer the following. 1, please provide a zoning compliance table on the subdivision plan. 2, does a 374 foot by 175 foot square / rectangle comply with District A rear lot requirements? 3, the driveways for lots 1, 2, 5, and 6 have grades greater than 9.5%. NYU recommends that the final plot plan for these lots be resubmitted to the Oxford Planning and Zoning Commission for approval to confirm the limits of pavement required for said driveways. 4, please provide acceptance / approval of the 10,000 gallon fire suppression tank from the Town of Oxford Fire Department. 5, please provide paved aprons for all lots. 6, please provide detention analysis from storms 2 through 100 for all lots and include fully paved driveways in the said analysis, considering that there are several driveways which could be fully paved. Next, all changes have been made. Therefore, NYE has no further comment. If you should have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Sincerely, James H. Galligan, P.E. Madison Young Engineers, Inc., for the town engineer of Oxford.
Mr. Chairman, can I maybe ask a clarifying question, please? I just want to make sure I understand the timeline here. It says all changes have been made. So I just want to confirm that that means that these have already been discussed with the applicant and what has been required to be submitted in order for us to move forward with this has been done, so or is pending.
That's generally the understanding, right?
Okay.
So I hope to hear that from our presentation. Okay? He's laughing. What do you want?
All right, thank you.
No, really, yeah, no, that's generally what that means.
Okay.
So,
The third item of correspondence is from the Oxford Conservation Commission, Inland Wetlands Agency, dated November 17th, 2025. From Mr. Scott Volpe, Post Office Box 906, Southbury, Connecticut, 06488. Reference disposition of application IWWC 25-71, 0 Larky Road, Oxford. Dear Mr. Volpe, at its regular meeting on Wednesday, November 12, 2025, the Oxford Conservation Commission Inland Wetlands Agency made the following decision on your application with conditions. A motion made by Commissioner Andrew Ferrillo and seconded by Commissioner Ryan Smith to approve IWWC 25-71, Connecticut Residential Inc., property owner Hartwig and Anita Bloom Living Trust, on Larky South, Larky Road, map 27, block 15, lot 8A. Total size of site equals 28.765 acres. Proposed use equals 6-lot residential subdivision. Total acres of wetlands equals 4.20 acres. Wetlands impact equals 0. Upland review area impact equals 3,900 square feet. Amount of material to be removed equals 0. Amount of material deposited equals 0. Conditions are as follows. 1, standard erosion controls in place before, during, and after. 2, conservation easement to be placed on all 4 corners with conservation signs. 3, conservation easement wording to be placed on the deed and town clerk's office. All in favor voted 3-0. Permit expires November 12th, 2030. Permit duration is 5 years. Additional extension must be requested prior to expiration. Attached, please find a copy of the conservation easement, and if you have any questions, please call me at the office. By direction of the commission, Denise Randall, OCCIWA. Last item, a letter from Kevin Glass, a resident on Rocky Road, dated December 16th, 2025, subject Z-25-129, proposed subdivision of Larky Road into 6 residential lots. Dear town officials, I'm writing as a resident of the Larky Road area to express both my appreciation for your efforts to foster thoughtful development in our community and my concerns regarding the proposed subdivision plan Z-25-129. With the prospect of new neighbors on Larky Road, I am excited for the positive changes this project could bring. At the same time, I want to highlight an important aspect valued by most current residents: privacy. Many of us chose our homes in this neighborhood precisely because of the quiet, private setting and the generous setbacks from the road. The existing homes along Larky Road are typically situated about 100 feet from the street, creating a consistent aesthetic, peaceful surroundings. As the town reviews the developer's plans, I respectfully request that you require all new homes in this subdivision to be positioned at least 75 feet from the road. This setback will help maintain the privacy that residents appreciate. Given the considerable depth of each proposed parcel, there's ample room to build without compromising this important feature. Additionally, preserving these setbacks is not just about privacy, it is also about protecting the unique look and feel of our community and ensuring that property values remain strong. The aesthetics of our neighborhood directly influence our quality of life and investment in our homes. While I understand the applicant for this subdivision is from outside Oxford and may be motivated by profit, it is crucial that their interests do not adversely affect the long-term value and appeal of local properties. Thank you for considering this request and for your ongoing commitment to managing Oxford's growth in a way that respects both new and long-standing residents. I am confident that with careful planning, we can welcome new neighbors while preserving the qualities that make Larky Road a special place to live. Sincerely, Kevin Glass. That's the last of the items.
Okay. Right, before we move on to the actual, commission find if anybody has any conflict of interest in this application, I'll start with Sarah.
No. Joshua Dykstra, no conflict. Jason Swan, no.
Dan Wall, no.
Carl Bouchard, no conflict.
Linda Chaplinsky, no conflicts.
Okay. All right, so we're going to start the actual presentation at this point for Mr. Volpe.
Good evening. For the record, Jesse Johnson, licensed land surveyor, that is 52 Main Street, Seymour, Connecticut. Representing the applicant, residential link, your application for the business on Larky Road. Also present with me, Scott Wolfe, the president of Residential Link. Property is a 28.76 acre parcel located on the easterly side of Larky Road, just south of the intersection of Town Road. Located within the residential A zoning district, has approximately 1,475 feet of road frontage along the through portion of Larky Road. proposing to subdivide the parcel into 6 residential single-family building lots. 4 of those lots will be road front, 2 of the lots are interior. Additionally, 2 parcels of land will be conveyed to the town of Oxford. The first piece I've highlighted in yellow on the map here, it's a strip along the entire frontage of the property along the roadway. That strip is about a little over a half acre, will be conveyed to the town for highway purposes. It will widen the right of way to require 50-foot minimum, it's required for town road standards. The second parcel we conveyed to the town is highlighted in green on the map I have here, and that's a parcel for open space, approximately 12.75 acres in size. There are approximately 4.2 acres of wetlands on the property. The majority of those wetlands are located, I'm highlighted in blue, they're located on the open space parcel. Lots 2 through 6 have no wetlands present on them. Lot 1 does have about 4/10 of an acre of wetlands on it. And as you heard before, the approval from the Active Wetlands Commission, they have requested a conservation easement be placed on portion of lot 1 to protect those wetlands. And that's highlighted in purple. Again, lot number 1 is a roadfront lot, a little over 2 acres, has more than 1.5 acres required for contiguous area. Lot number 2 is an interior lot, 2.88 acres in size. Lot number 3 is a roadfront lot, lot 4 is also 2 acres. Lot number 5 is a 4.13 acre interior lot, and lot number 6 is another roadfront lot, 100.25 acres. All lots conform to the zoning regulations, including minimum lot areas, minimum frontage, minimum lot space, etc. Soil testing was conducted with the Housatonic Valley Health District. Suitable areas were located and found on all the lots to support at least a 4-bedroom septic system. And as right before it's in record, they've issued an approval letter recommending approval. Soil testing was also conducted, and areas were identified to provide subsurface stormwater management systems. These systems will treat the first 1.3 inches of rainfall from the house area and driveways. And we have on here is a conceptual nature. Each subsurface stormwater management system is sized based on the house size. They're sized properly for the house to be depicted right now, but it's not necessarily the house that we built on the property. Those final designs will be engineered at the time of construction of these are submitted for permitting. There is no proposed work within Barton Road as it's an existing town road. Tried to keep land disturbance to a minimum on these lots. Our total disturbance for 6 lots is just a hair over 4 acres. The 4 roadfront lots require about 6/10 of disturbance for each lot, and 2 interior lots are about 3/4 of an acre each. Obviously, all those disturbed areas will be stabilized and seeded upon completion of each lot. Standard erosion control measures have been proposed for each lot, including silt fence, anti-tracking pads, etc. Again, those particular schemes will be finalized at the time of permitting and development of each lot. We've also provided a proposed 10,000-gallon fire suppression tank or water storage tank for the fire department. That's located on the northwest corner of lot 6. And it's situated within an easement that we granted to the town of Oxford for that fire tank, and that'll serve not only the lots in this subdivision, but also the other. No major grading is proposed for all 6 lots. Cut volume is only about 1,350 cubic yards. Fill volume is about 2,000 cubic yards. So that leaves about 650 cubic yards of material that will need to be brought to the site. Those materials generally use that volume as far as driveway bases, driveway surface courses, sand for septic system, stone for septic system, stone for the stormwater systems, as well as topsoil, which is standard for any construction site and not constructed. No area of steep slopes greater than 35% proposed to be disturbed. And the grading for each lot provides minimum 50-foot flat area at the rear of each house that's required by subdivision regulations. All the proposed driveways conform to the Oxford driveway regulations. Just going back to the open space parcel, again, subdivision requirements require 20% of the parcel to be dedicated to open space. We're proposing to dedicate 12.75 acres, or roughly 44% of the parcel for open space. We've shaped it So for future connections to other development and for easy access from perhaps down to the town hall. This parcel is just up off of Larky Road, we're probably only 1,000 feet up the road here. The lower portion of Larky Road is not improved, and you have this walking trails instead of going on across the street. Theoretically, a connection could be made to this and other parcels as we get future development. Again, you have approvals from the health department and from the Inland Wetlands Commission. As far as the comments from here, Jim Gallagher, we just received this letter middle or end of last week. Addressed some of those questions, but not all the revisions that we made at this time. Comment number one was to provide a zoning compliance table on the subdivision plan. Okay, we want to have that table on the plans as required. Question number two was a question. There's a 374 foot by 175 foot square rectangle comply with the rear lot requirements. The answer on that is yes. For section 3.26.3 of zoning regulations, interior lot residential single family residence require minimum land area of 2.75 acres. A minimum square area for interior lots shall be a rectangular area with the smallest minimum dimension of 175 feet and minimum size of 1.5 acres. All dry contiguous land. The access way shall be 30 feet wide. We provide a 175 foot minimum dimension of the rectangle. We have the 2.76 acres of dry contiguous land and a 30-foot access way. So we do meet the regulations. Item number three, driveways lots 1, 2, 5, 6 have grades greater than 9.5%. Davidson Young recommends those final plot plans be resubmitted to the Oxford Planning and Zoning Commission for approval. Traditionally, driveways would give 15% in Oxford that are paved. At the time of development, for building permits time, plans are submitted to the zoning department, zoning officer, the office officer, the driveway inspector. Those plans are reviewed by them at that time. I personally don't think it's necessary to come back in front of the commission. It's almost asking like every lot that to be developed in town come back to you, but that's just my opinion. That's a commission. They provide acceptance approval of the 10,000 gallon fire suppression tank to the town of Oxford Fire Department. I spoke with Jessica and she spoke with the fire marshal. He has reviewed the plans and have no comments. I just don't think we have a letter at this time. Item number 5, please provide paved aprons for all lots. Paved aprons are indicated on every lot unplanned. We've added or we're adding just call out some leaders or for them to make them more clear. Hatching at the end, you read and it shows up in the legend. As far as item number 6, provided detention analysis for storms 2 through 100 on all lots. We are currently working on that. Our engineer, Don Smith, is preparing those calculations. We intend to submit them to the commission and to Jim Gallagher for his review, hopefully prior to the next meeting. The bottom comment on this letter that all changes have been made. That would seem to be a typo or something left over from a previous letter. We don't require any changes, that's great.
Okay. Anyone from the commission? Questions?
Yes, first. Sorry, hi. I apologize if I missed it or if I misheard. That the final plans for the actual homes are still TBD? And if so, does that mean the scale and the setbacks you listed may change?
Yes, any subdivision approved by the commission, required for subdivision regulations, subdivision approval, we're providing conceptual development. The lot lines aren't going to change. Building setback lines are all the same, 25 feet on the sides and the rear, 30 feet from the front line, 55 feet from the center of the road. That's the regulation. This is the particular development scheme we come up with, but at the time of development of a residential single family lot, the owner might pick up a different house, they might shift the house a little bit here. It's really every subdivision in town comes down to the plot line to reach that. Those were resubmitted to the zoning department. I can comment to that too.
62 High Scott Road, corner. Can I get residential? The nature of single family home is a little bit different from, let's say, condo, townhomes, style development, where you're going to repeat the same model over and over again. I'm a custom and semi-custom home developer, so I'm going to offer these footprints. What you see here is what I am offering. Often is the time where people will come in and ask for something different. For example, I have someone who is interested in lot number 6. They don't want that footprint. What they want is actually quite small, so it'll be less impact. I can't always guarantee that, but today's economics is almost guaranteeing that what you see here as far as footprint goes and disturbance is going to be the maximum. I just don't see it getting any bigger. I kind of wanted to add a comment along the lines that, you know, I'm from Oxford. I think most people here know that. I read the letter, read it from the record. I grew up in town. In fact, I probably would argue, I've probably been in Oxford longer than this room. I've been here since 1970. Grew up here, stayed here, lived here, raised my family. I'm an extremely private person. I've been in developing housing next year about 30 years, but I've been building custom homes in Oxford. And I think that most people on the commission who know me know that I'm not a clear cutter of land. So I do value the comments from the letter that comes in asking about single family homes don't sell well in the wider. So from a business perspective, there's no advantage in putting on the ground. We want to keep privacy. We want to keep a buffer in between houses. We want to keep buffer in between home and road. The issue is that we can't always do that. You know, we have the flood, we have these microbursts that are hitting, we have weather events that are worse. So, in the old days, you might leave a tree that was 80 feet tall, you might leave it 30 feet from the house. You can't do that. So what I try to do is pick and choose. What we end up seemingly doing is we try to leave islands of privacy. So, for example, on these 2 front lots that are a little bit closer to the road, I don't know if you still measure how far back these are. My intention would be to leave an island of trees here and here, and clear just enough for the well to get back to the house. So 60, about 50. So we're 50 back from the road, right? From the road. Again, the trees are tall, so I mean we have to pick and choose, and we have to try to select a group of trees that'll survive storm. Lone soldier trees don't survive at all; they get wiped out. So we try to leave a group of trees that'll survive. You know, what is this one? So we're pretty close. It's the position of the homes, as you guys know, is dictated by the septic system. So we have to find septic, and then we have to work around the septic. And it's not just septic; it's roof drainage, driveway drainage, setbacks from the well, in-ground propane tank is a setback from the well, and from the drain can from the septic. So believe it or not, a 2-acre lot is relatively tight for a medium-sized single family. In any event, I just wanted to make people aware. I don't think there's somebody who's in the building business who's more interested in keeping privacy and trees than I am. It's good for business, and it's good for me as a person. So, hope that helps.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from the commission?
So if you're about 50 feet on the 2 center lots, right, you said about 60 feet from the road, the further one, the lot number 6, sorry, considering everything that you said about the straight to the geography. Relative to the letter that was sent in by Mr. Plass, how challenging would it be for you to move buildings back a little bit further if the commission were to decide that that was the path they wanted to take?
I mean, we're pretty tight to the septic.
Yeah, lot number 4, the septic is close to the back, so lot number 4, we put the house back. Lot number 3, there might be some room back, but other things to consider here, you know, there's all this talk, like comments from the town engineer, everything else is about storm drainage, storm water. The more we clear, the more we disturb, the more runoff and everything else you're generating. In today's low impact development, we're trying to clear less and disturb less land. We meet town front yard setback is 55 feet from the center of the road, like 30 feet from my line. We more than exceed that. The commission has set regulations in effect. That's what the commission in the past, and that's the board that said what is required, and that's necessary for the privacy or whatever the concern is. We meet all those regulations, and again, fire comes along and asks us the house is 700 feet back from the road, we might look at it. But, you want to disturb less unless we have to restore it, let's run off.
And it's just a point of understanding and load balance, not load balancing, but understanding where you are geographically and then taking into consideration the comments that are coming in from the public. Because certainly what you're bringing to us, we have the reasonable expectation it's going to be within the regulations.
Okay, it has to.
Obviously.
It has to be. So, and to be honest, I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I'm not sure if we have the requirement. I actually think we can.
And perhaps we cannot. I'm looking at what's coming in before me. I am the newbie on the bench.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to perform my due diligence and understand when we get this information or commentary from the public, how we might, if assimilate it so that everyone can be happy.
What I can tell you is that's practice. So I happen to be the site ground manager for my company. I have died with that. So I don't actually personally set these homes. I set all my homes. It's often that we're moving it back. I mean, I'll never want to move forward. I don't want to be closer to the line. In this particular case, we're closer to the line. Further back I can get, more trees I can keep better. It's a balance though, because we've got a 1-foot footing and 9-foot wall. You have 10 feet close to the line. So, you could get into a deeper front yard to make a balance of that site foundation work. And all of a sudden, we actually create a worse looking situation. But there's no question that retaining value of the utmost importance to me as a businessman. Yeah, I'm here to make a profit. But it's not just that. I mean, that's great. I mean, as members who know me, I don't think that we've ever built anything that wasn't perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Anything else from the commission? This time, nothing on that side. How about this side? Mr. McSherry.
Two questions, one helping Commissioner Swan a little bit. Each one of your houses will be approved for septic 4 bedrooms, correct?
Correct.
So the maximum size house they could build is a 4-bedroom house. They could build smaller, of course, but the maximum amount is 4 bedrooms.
More than the part of the subdivision regulations, the town's regulations require we show a septic system for 4-bedroom house. We demonstrated that we can put 4-bedroom house in each lot, but on many of these lots we can do a septic system for 5 or 6-bedroom house.
Did you go back? You'd have to go back to the health district to get that.
Every lot's got to go back to the health district.
So you could do more.
Once the subdivision is approved, when staff goes to build these lots, every individual lot has a plot plan made for it. It's going to have an engineered septic system on it, final grades, driveway, erosion measures, storm drains. That's submitted to the health department, zoning department, wetlands department, all reviewed and signed off.
But as of now, you have 4 bedrooms approved for each lot. So if you're going to change that, you have to go back, obviously. That's what you said.
They have to go back.
And Commissioner's point before about the setback, your requirements are what you have to meet. You have to meet the 30-foot setback. To ask for more, we couldn't impose more. With the consideration by Mr. Volpe, it's good to hear that he would consider adjusting his lots as he could. Of course, it's a business, but being kind and considerate to the existing neighborhood is good that he's doing that. The only other question, what's the total acreage of the site?
28.76 acres.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, anything else? One more time from the commission. Nope. Okay. All right, at this point, we'd like to open it up to the audience. So if anybody has comments, wants to make comments on this application, come on up. State your name and address, please, when you go.
I'm Jeanette Beltry. I'm at 71 Larky Road, so I'm the property directly adjacent to this lot on the same side.
Okay.
Yeah, on the same side that it's on. The one that, as you come down Pond, there's one on Larky, my place right there.
Gotcha.
So I have some questions. I don't know if I can just make comments or ask questions.
Oh.
Stop and so my first question is, I saw that you're donating, part of the road or something from the road to the town for the highway, but then I thought I heard you say you're not expanding the road. Is the road being expanded?
No, so, the road's not proposed to be what's on LID. What that is the, it's an older road, so you're not having road tape lines from the town. So we're donating that to the town. We're not building it.
Okay, and that portion you're donating, is it up to my property? It doesn't include on my.
Jess, what is that?
Should be going through the chairman for this, but.
That's all right. That's all right.
Chairman, Steve. Yellow strip that would be donated.
Okay, and it ends here where your property is, but then I'm there.
Right, we can't donate your property.
No, of course. So I guess my question to the commission is there plans to make the road bigger because of these extra houses going in? Is there a need for that? Was there any traffic study?
Not that I'm aware of at this point.
Okay, so it's approved, there's no increasing of the road.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, great. Do you see any need to put in a stop sign at the end there from Condon to Larky because of the increased traffic?
That's really not our purview, put in a stop sign.
Would that be?
That would, yeah, what would that be? Board of Select, I mean, I guess, Board of Select.
The board, Mr. Chairman, the Board of Selectmen makes determination of all signs, whether they be speed signs, ground signs, fair signs.
All right, thank you. So the bottom line is Board of Select.
Will there be any blasting?
Yeah, probably. But I can tell you from just so whatever you want, lot 5. Possibly on lot 2.
Okay, so then my question to that would be, would you require him, I don't know what the regulations are, to give notice to the abutting landowners of when the blasting will take place?
When blasting is necessary, the fire marshal will basically covers it. There's a pre-blasting study of each of the surrounding houses within the range. There's insurance put in place. The blasters are all certified and licensed. The fire marshal will make sure everything is conducted. And if there's an issue afterwards that occurs, then it's evaluated afterwards. But there's a whole process that goes through. It's very thorough, and blasting is done at minimal sort of charges. You don't have it, no one goes crazy over it.
Yeah, it's, you're so far away, you would get last 10 feet from the house. You would feel this like it wouldn't affect you. They actually have to set up site. So they set up equipment to monitor it. And of course, what they get to do, they use the charge.
Okay.
In addition to that, we have to use the blasting. It's one of the larger, more respected blasting programs in all of them.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I didn't hear the answer. Do you need notification?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we're signs put out for this stuff.
Okay.
Anything more than that's going to get the right notification.
Okay.
But you're going to hear the siren go off. You're going to hear the.
There's also a pre-inspection that goes on.
Within, after that number of feet, so in that circumference or diameter, you will get reviewed if you're outside of that.
Okay. And then I understood you to say that you do have a cap to carry insurance in case we should.
And is monitored by.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the fire marshal monitors this, so, as Mr. McSherry said, he pretty much runs the show, so, fire marshal.
As far as the construction of construction, is there a time that they're allowed to do that or not allowed to do that? My comment to that would be is I would like to recommend as the homeowner that will be affected right on that corner, that perhaps it be days from 8 AM to 4 PM and no trucks on the weekend.
I'm gonna have to look into that and get back to you on that. For the subdivision regulations, which I don't have here.
Because we also had the Girl Scout when they did their big expansion on their property, we had construction going on at 7 AM on Saturday morning. So I just wanted to address that.
Okay.
Woken up to construction and trucks and things. And do you have people interested in the lots now, or are you doing them all at once, or you're just doing them as people are interested in the property?
So, it's a great question. It's a little bit more. I do have people interested in really not pushing these like process. My intention though is probably to clear them all up, put the driveways in all at once.
Okay.
And develop the property sort of get in and get out. That said, I have that said. So it's a little bit of market then. Okay. Go back to the construction and the question for a second. So typically, the guys will work 7 to 5. Unfortunately, Saturday still work day construction. It's a necessary component. But they tend not to start until they're like the truck guys, and will usually roll until 8 or 9 o'clock. Wouldn't be surprised if you heard roofers on Saturday at 7:30. I can do my best to limit that. There are time regulations to do those. But I will do my best to try to get Saturday.
Appreciate that. And how soon do you anticipate, like, what's the process? When would construction begin? Like, are we talking February? Are we talking later in the spring? Are we talking sooner? Like, what's the process for once you get to the approval, when you expect all of this stuff?
Oh, once he gets approval, that's up to him.
Yeah, so the approval process takes how long?
Right.
We going through banking. I'm expecting to start. So if I can start earlier, it's probably financially.
Okay, those are my comments and questions. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Any others? Want to make a comment? Yes, sir.
I live in Blatchley, I live on the corner, live at 56 Conduit Road, corner across the street from our house from Waukee and Conduit Road. I have a question about the widening of the road. It's quite narrow in this section here. It's only wide enough for 1.5 cars, maybe. I was just wondering if you're going to improve that with trucks coming in and out. We'll be able to pick these up with that section of the road. I know the newer section where they have the newer houses up where it's
We are not proposing to see it on off-site. Actually, that is on. But I can tell you that the truck traffic will be relatively light. We're working on the site and moving between the lots. You're going to have your morning and night rush hour. And of course, import, which is septic system, driveway stone, will be coming in. But it is truck a lot of the time. It's not a mass movement, right? It's just not very good.
The other one is for the town, for the wetlands property. What was the intentional use of that? You know, to mention was bringing a trail up through there, or walking trail, or is that going to end up here or connect? How many people, you know, using that, or spoken to everyone?
Yeah, that's.
Will they be parking at one cul-de-sac, or use it as a walking trail, or what will be future use?
Typically with the proposed trail at this time, let's just say it's will be going to the town for open space in the future if the town chooses to implement a trail system through there. So like the town.
We wouldn't make a decision, sir. That would be the board of selectmen. That's not our call.
one time that they wanted to make the trail up.
I heard the same, but I don't know if it's going on. I really don't. Okay, anyone else? One of them.
My name is Robert Hoffmiller. I'm at 62 Larky Road. We've already had one house that was developed on our street, and it was a living nightmare as far as traffic-wise on that skinny part of the road. When I come down my driveway, the property that you're donating is across the street from my house. I'm way up on the hill. If I come down there, I almost get whiplash by the cars that are flying through there. But they had the construction going on there. I know you say it's during construction hour, in the morning and the afternoon. It was 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That we were having problems
24/7 of what?
with cars flying in and out of there, between workers,
Oh,
deliveries,
construction people.
and everything else.
Okay.
With that very narrow road, I almost got ran off the road many, many times. I wish that this road was gonna be at least the same size as the upper part, so that would ease my mind a little bit. My second thing is, I got a 400-foot deep well, and I have no chemicals that are needed on my property for my well. My well is perfect. It's tested every year. I'm in that business. I test my water every year because I know characteristics can change. Before they do start that, I will have my well tested to make sure that that's not going to change. Because I know I'm in a reservoir. I know that that's quite a distance, but I'm not a well guy. I'm a heating and air conditioning guy. So all I know is if my well is tainted because of something that's changed around there, then that would be a pretty big concern to me as far as that's concerned. There's also another piece of the property that was just cleared out. We were just speaking about that before. My house is set up way up on the hill. I just did a $200,000 addition on my house. When I overlook all the woods that you guys are going to be working on. That house, when I look over to the right of the house, I can see the whole right side of that street. I never saw that right side of the street. It was taking down huge trees, and that's a concern to me. How much is going to be cleared out? We all want to live in a nice, quiet neighborhood, but it seems that the more and more trees that are being taken down between that lot. There's another lot that's right off of 67 that was just cleared out. They put a driveway up there, that's been all cleared out. More noise is getting up there, than it was when I was here 10 years ago. I moved here 10 years ago. I know times are changing. I don't have a problem with that. I'm sure he's going to give us some classy houses, and which will help our houses. But that was my main concern. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else? Comments on this application? In the audience? No? Back to the commission. Anybody? Questions, comments? Nothing? Okay. So I think based on some open items from Mavis and Young, I think we need to recess this. Everybody agree?
Yes.
Everybody? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to recess.
I'll make a mo- oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Make a motion to recess this public hearing?
Second. All those in favor?
Don't we have to set a date to recess it to?
Yeah.
I think the next meeting is
January 6th.
I make a motion to recess the public hearing to January 6th.
And the first meeting in January is always a special meeting. So did you want to meet at 7?
I was just going to ask you that. What do we have on the 6th? We have, we got.
Starting the new year, we changed it to start a regular.
Right.
Yeah, we already started. Sure.
Right, but the first meeting is a special meeting. So you want this to start at 7?
Yeah.
Right? I'm just checking.
I do.
All right, so we're gonna reset, Linda wants to recess it to January 6th. Yep,
Forget the demolition, but is that enough time for them to?
oh yeah, it's a while. I don't know.
With the holiday.
I'm hoping to have the, items addressed by then. I mean, it's a difficult time for the holiday period. So it's just because we get it. Items addressed on our agenda, doesn't mean Mr. Gallagher was kind of.
Exactly, so we should probably
Right.
do this in the second meeting in January.
We have clear enough, we keep that on the sixth, if for some reason it's not going to be ready or approved, you could just continue the public hearing at that point, next meeting. So we are ready, I mean, it doesn't hurt to keep it on the time.
All right, so, Justin, the January 6th meeting, is it a heavy meeting? Do we have a lot?
Not right now.
All right, so let's do what the gentleman suggests. Let's recess it to that date, right? 7 o'clock. If there's still things to hear, we'll recess it.
We opened this,
So let's
no,
start this from the beginning.
it was canceled.
You're right, this is.
We're discussing the timeline.
Oh, okay.
So when do we open it?
We opened it tonight.
So over the time.
Yeah, okay, so yes, the 6th
The
is.
next regular meeting, the day of acceptance.
Need to make a note to us again, Linda.
No
One more
worries,
time.
no worries. I mean, Jess kept me straight on the date. Carl knew I made a mistake, so it's all good, right? I make a motion to recess this public hearing until January 6th.
Do I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passed.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any amendments to the agenda?
Don't take your stuff.
Have a good one.
I do have one, if we could please add an audience of citizens to the end in our organizational meeting. I had requested that. I don't know that we took a formal vote, but I thought we were gonna add that second audience
I
of
think we
citizens.
agreed now.
Oh, did we
Right,
agree?
yeah, we did.
Oh, okay, all right. My hearing was off that night, never mind.
We went back and forth.
Could be if we're paying it.
All right, so
Record this
no
together,
amendments.
wait till next month. What's the big deal?
Excuse me.
No amendments?
I have a bill for my vehicle. You want to add that to the agenda?
No,
I-
no, let me take that.
Okay.
All right, so no amendments. Okay. Correspondence. What do we have? We have 2 letters here.
We have 2 letters. The first one is from the office of the first selectman of Oxford, George R. Temple, Esquire. It was sent to Martin L. Heff, Undersecretary, Intergovernmental Policy and Planning Division, Office of Policy and Management, 450 Capitol Avenue, MS number 54 SLP, Hartford, Connecticut. Reference: CGS Connecticut General Statutes, Section 8-3J zoning noncompliance. Addressed to Undersecretary F. I am hereby notifying you that the town of Oxford zoning ordinances and regulations are not in compliance with Connecticut General Statutes, Section 8-3J for the calendar year 2025. I anticipate that the town of Oxford's zoning ordinances and regulations will be brought into compliance with these requirements by March 2nd, 2025. Which is, that date is passed.
No. Oh, it's supposed to say 2026?
Yeah, I assume it's a typo and it's supposed to be 2026.
Yes.
And witness whereof, First Selectman Temple, Chief Executive Officer of the Town of Oxford, Connecticut, has hereunto set his name and seal this 26th day of November in the year 2025 by First Selectman George R. Temple, duly authorized. Signed, sealed, and delivered in the presence of Margaret West and Kristen Rosen. Personally appear George R. Temple, Chief Executive Officer of the Town of Oxford, signer and sealer of the foregoing instrument, who acknowledged that the same is his free act and deed, and the free act and deed of the Town of Oxford before me, and it's notarized by Margaret West. I think.
Yeah, that looks like Margaret.
All right, want to discuss that now, just, bring
Yeah.
everybody up to speed, please, because this is going on for a while.
And I just was gonna make a short statement, which was,
Okay.
so this is just a few, this literally is just a few phrases and words in our regulations. I am gonna take care of this. I would like to set a public hearing for, it's about family, childcare homes, and daycare homes in residential areas. So I would like to set a public hearing for February 3rd. We don't have to do it at this meeting. No, we kind of do. Because I have to send it off to the regional planning, even though it's ours. It's like an amendment to the zoning regulations. So if we plan it for February 3rd, I can make sure I have everything to the towns and agencies, and then we can come back and hopefully have it done, open and close that first night, and be in compliance by the end of February.
Sounds good. Anybody have any comments? No? Makes sense?
It's not really complicated.
Excuse me?
You just have to treat basically a child care home the same as other residentials. So, right now, we actually say it's not allowed in the residential district. So we'd be adjusting our permitted uses to comply with the statute. So it's not that big of a deal, as Jessica pointed out, but it's something to start.
Kevin, is that the only place that we're out of compliance? Because I saw that the little tick box, is there other verbiage that has to be addressed as well?
I think there's some language that we want to add to make that everything comply and make it simpler, so when someone goes looking for it. Yeah, so it's a couple of sentences.
Yeah, for that one. And I did something already because I felt that, and I will send it to you so that you can, give me a star,
5 stars.
5 stars, just to make sure that,
So you're
I
going
did
to
it
present
properly.
the language to us on February 3rd, and then we can discuss it and decide what we want.
Jessica, you said you wanted a public hearing.
Yeah, we have to set a public hearing because it's a zoning amendment. So I'd like to do that now so I can get all the notices in. Is that okay? Can we set a public hearing?
You said February 3rd?
I believe February 3rd is, yes, our first Tuesday. Sure.
All right, so we have one more letter.
This is
Yeah,
just
but it
informational.
isn't really a vote.
Yeah.
I'm gonna describe it, not. It's an email from Jim Haliva, the finance director for the town, regarding the fiscal year 2026, 2027 fiscal year budget preparation and procedures. It's a list of, and there's 3 columns here. First is the budget process step, and they describe about a dozen steps. The next column, it lists the requirements as defined in the town charter. And it has items like dates that have to be met for these steps. And then the third column is a final deadline date for each of those steps. And it looks to me like the process starts January 15th and it ends June 28th. Okay?
Anybody have any comments on this? That's what it is, right?
I have a comment. Okay, so every year I do this budget pretty much under the gun by myself. It seems like it's due as soon as we come back from the holidays. And then we have our first meeting in January. And then next thing you know, it's January 14th. And I haven't gotten it done yet, and I'm throwing numbers in. I really would love the support of, even if it's a few commission members, to come in and sit down and go over some of the line items. Because I've done it every year, but I don't have the time to actually, compile the actual data that tells us if we have, like what we want, what do we want? What do we want? Do we want to purchase something? Do we want to purchase a program? Do we want to purchase, association, with certain things? And I can't do all of that on my own. So I would love some input right. But I'm also afraid if we leave this table today, that we won't set a date.
All right, well, let's talk about it. So I think it's a great idea.
I can make myself available.
All right, so Carl, you got Linda, anyone else? And Sarah? Okay, good.
All right, let's keep it at, and that, those three. So Sarah, Carl.
Come into the office, let's sit down with you, go over it, talk with you about it.
Yes,
that kind of
please.
stuff.
Yes, please.
Sounds like a little bit of brainstorming.
Yeah, just.
And then, what's great about it, I think, is if you commissioners that do this, see anything of concern, bring it to the whole board.
Throw out some dates for the three of us.
Okay.
See if we can come to a time and day.
Okay.
No, that's great. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
January 15th is going to come really, really.
It really does.
Really, really quickly. And I'll just
You're thinking of doing this either within a week or just after New Year's, right?
I'm not here on Friday the 2nd. I guess I could be.
You want to do it early the next week?
So we have Monday, then we have a meeting Tuesday, and then we have this, I would prefer to do it earlier the week before, so either Monday the 5th or Wednesday the 7th, the day before the meeting or after the meeting. If we can do it on Monday, then we have something to talk about at the meeting.
Monday, what date is that?
January 5th.
Okay.
And I do appreciate that.
I was going to put my head on the block as up to the week after Christmas.
Monday the 5th works for me.
Sarah?
Just let us know what time.
Okay. I'll send something out then. But tentative, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's move on. We're dragging along here. Audience of citizens for anything that's not on the agenda. Anything that's not going to be discussed on the agenda. Anybody want to bring up anything? Okay, we'll try again. Audience of citizens. Anybody want to discuss anything that's not on tonight's agenda? Here's the thing. Okay, move on. Old business. Regular meeting schedule final draft. Got that?
I don't have it. But I looked it over quite a few times, so. Do you guys have it in your packet? No? I think I printed out one, and I lost those with the invoices.
If you did, I would write my, I didn't see it.
It was in the electronic file that you gave.
It was, so
Yes.
if you just move to approve it, I'll get,
Was it in the electronic?
I'm
And it
99%
was
sure that it
what
was in the
we agreed to
electronic
last
gap,
time?
the electronic deck.
And I see no trouble making a motion to approve if that's what you're
That's what she's looking for.
that's what I want.
looking for. I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting schedule, final draft, issued in our pre-meeting packet for year 2023.
Okay. Now you're on, second. All right, motion seconded, everybody in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No, okay, let's move to the next. All right, new business. We have Z-25-133 Chestnut Tree Hill
Oh,
Road
that's
and
a
Bridge
public
Street,
hearing.
4 parcels, Oxford Greens, spaces 5, 6, and 7. Owner applicant PG Oxford Greens, Buffalo Office Park Suite 105 Southbury. Applicant's representative, Oliver Gaffney, CPA Design Group, 85 Willow Street, New Haven, Connecticut. The application is a site plan modification of phase 5 and phase 6, previously approved 7/18/23. Good evening. You're on.
I'm not Oliver, I'm Matt Gilchrist from EG Home and also EG Oxford Greens LLC. Can you go to the next
Sure.
page 2?
Am I going, is that the up one? No.
Just the PDF, just scroll down.
I do it like, why can't I do that?
Or actually, you could use the arrows down at the bottom.
Well, that's what I was trying to do, the arrows, to go to the next one, because my computer is not working.
I think we need to put an optical mouse in the budget for you.
If you want to try to do it.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got it up there, so you can try to, sorry. If you tell me what I'm doing wrong. But my, it might be because this isn't connected.
No,
When
it's okay.
it doesn't work that well if it's not connected with this.
I apologize for this.
No, it's not your fault.
I can try one of, you can bring it up as,
Sorry, I'm just trying. This is what we're trying to get fixed here.
that's a doozy.
Can you close it and open it? I mean,
Your Acrobat doesn't like,
it hasn't liked my stuff.
it's saying that we should
Oh,
update your computer.
I just updated it before this meeting. Yeah, I should update it for the MacBook. Yes.
You'd have different problems.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's see if I can get out of here. Let's go close that. Yeah. Sorry. All right, there's page 2. We should be able to tap.
All right, so let's,
All right, so the reason we're here tonight is, you all remember that I was not the one who came up for the original approval for this project. It was Timberlake, the original developer. We've brought it since then. Few things didn't make sense, and we wanted to correct those and kind of make the property better. The changes that we're looking to make are, the first in phase 5, convert all the single-family homes to townhomes. That phase had 2 different types of products: townhomes, which are attached, and single-family homes that are detached, and they're in the same HOA. Very difficult to have an HOA that governs 2 different kinds of properties. A townhouse, everything is covered under maintenance of that house, from the siding to the roofing to everything. It's all. The single-family homes, those are not. Each individual homeowner maintains their own house. They are in charge of their own roof. They're in charge of their own siding. So, for simplification, we want to clean that up. We also have phase 7, which has master plan approval. Still needs site plan approval, but it has 17 homes that were planned for phase 7.
Phase 7 is on the far other end of the development. I'm gonna get to a map, I'll show you. But that area, you know, we have to go through the people that built in 2006. We'd be disturbing that whole side of the development. It's hard to do that. It makes very little sense, and we make a lot of enemies doing it. We want to use that density, those 17 houses, in the areas that were already developed. So we're really going to reduce the amount of impact that we have on open space. We're going to increase the amount of open space and reduce our disturbance. So we'll move 14 of those units into phase 5 from phase 7. That'll increase our density from 169 to 183. So at the end of this, we'll have 183 townhomes. That is still within all the approvals. When they came back in, and I think they got 40% to be attached, we're still within 40%. And then we're going to move that small amenities package that was in phase 5. We're going to move it to the large amenities area. And we're going to improve it by making it something that the homeowners actually want. What was approved initially was a small clubhouse, could have small gatherings, you know, 10, 20 people, maybe you can play some cards, and then some outdoor pickleball courts and that kind of stuff. Nobody really wanted it there. The people above us in the links, they were concerned that the pickleball courts would cause too much noise and disturb their peace. You know, so we can't come up with a better solution. Phase 6 is the things that we're not yet developing. We can't develop it until we make our connection through to the Chestnut Tree Hill Road. But phase 6 is all single family homes. We kind of massaged that road network and we were able to squeeze 3 more homes in. So we're going to take those last 3 homes from phase 7. We're going to pop them into phase 6. And it's going to go from 56 to 59. Phase 7, done. It goes open space. Nothing will ever get built there. And then the amenities area, we're going to add a clubhouse. And because everybody's got to get something they want, the golf course, you know, asked us to include a halfway house or concession stand on the 10th fairway. This is kind of a win-win-win for everybody because they're going to not have golf carts rushing over to the other side of the parking lot to get beers and sodas and whatever else they need, and then trying to get back on the course. Can you go to the next slide? Just down there, or grab the slide. There we go. So, like I said, this is a win-win-win. Everybody's trying to get something that they need. I get to move my density into one space. I get to have all the same type of homes in that neighborhood. And then I get to build an amenity package that not only my future homeowners are going to like, but the current homeowners are going to enjoy as well. That fits a need, and we're going to get to that in just one second. I presented to the HOA. We had 2 presentations, and then they followed that up with a vote. They put the vote out through paper ballot and online ballot, and they had a 74% participation, and they had 354 yes votes, 337 no votes. I think it's like 91% yes, 9% no. So the association is in favor of it. Ralph is here tonight. He's the president of the Master Association, if you will, the group of all the associations together, and he's willing to answer any questions. Can you go to the next slide? So this is the areas that we're talking about. The green area is the current area we're developing. That's the phase 5. And then we're adding those 14 units. You can see those are the dark units. That's where we've kind of taken those single families out and added the townhouses in. Same product we're using now. Hopefully you come and see our models. If you haven't, let me know, and we can set up a time for the commission to come see it, or you can come individually. Phase 6, we're adding the 3 units. That's the area of blue. It has a little lollipop off of one of the existing roads, and then those are the 3 new roads that will be added to that section as well. The amenities area is in the middle there, and then you can see where I have to delete 17 units. That's phase 7. You can see how that's totally not contiguous to anything we're doing. Those people have lived there since this was started. That's where this whole thing started. So they don't want to see concrete trucks rolling through there to develop just 17 units on that road. Next slide, please.
this is the amenities area. The light gray area is the existing clubhouse and existing indoor pool, and then the existing outdoor pool. Right behind the clubhouse, next to the tee boxes, you can see a footprint for a halfway house or concession stand. If that gets built, it has to go through all the approvals that, the building department would make to go through, all the inspections and everything. We're just putting it on the plan. When we do our construction, we would facilitate easy hookup to utilities for that facility. So we'll put in conduits and all that kind of stuff so they can get water, electric, and everything they need back to that building. The large gray building is the secondary clubhouse. This secondary clubhouse is going to meet a lot of needs. If you go to, actually don't go there. The dark parking area is all new parking area. There's a big grass field there. There's, this is all new added parking. I think we're adding 65 spaces. Not even good. This is the exterior of the clubhouse. What's conspicuously missing is the existing clubhouse, because this is just some concepts that we have. The building will be built to match and blend in with the existing clubhouses. That was very important to the homeowners. They want to make sure that the materials are the same, the colors are the same. We're going to integrate the same stone to the front. And the front of this building is actually going to almost be like a movie set. It's going to look just like the other buildings, but the back is a large open area, really a free span building that's going to allow them to do a lot. And then the bottom picture, you can see what the back of the building looks like. And if we go to the next slide. Again, this building is going to need full approval from the building department. We have to come in with detailed site plan. And then, it has to be inspected by every single, it's a commercial building, so it has to follow all those rules. This is just a conceptual plan to put in. So in this configuration, you're looking at 3 indoor pickleball courts. Indoor pickleball courts will allow the homeowners to enjoy this area all year long. The flooring in this is actually going to be wood. So it's going to be wooden pickleball courts that the homeowners can then also convert to a gathering area. When I met with them the first time, they said, we want a ballroom. And I'm like, I don't want to build you a ballroom. But what they really wanted is they don't have anywhere in their current clubhouse to gather. Like there's nowhere that they can have, I think it's 150 something people that they can have in their current building. This will facilitate 600 people in this facility. They can have a large gathering. They can have a large party. They can have a dance. They can have a New Year's ball. They can have educational sessions. They can do lots of different things here. They can hire a comedian to come in. They can put up chairs. There's all kinds of stuff they can do. The back of that building is athletic, multi-purpose room. The front bathrooms, the blue area is a warming kitchen. So if they do want to have a dinner, they can have a caterer come in and warm foods and that kind of stuff to serve. The bathrooms both meet all the zoning requirements for the size space, and we actually added a family bathroom or a assistance bathroom. This was a recent request by the homeowner association that sometimes couples need to be able to help each other, and that extra bathroom will facilitate that. The yellow area is storage. Because this is a multi-purpose, we have to be able to move tables in and out, move chairs in and out. That will facilitate all that storage and all the stuff that they really need to put into the space. The stairs go upstairs to where the utilities, the mechanicals will be. It's a large building. It will be EG Home is a zero energy builder. It will be an all electric building, and it will have solar panels to power this facility, being in line with everything that we're building at Oxford. Next slide, please. So yeah, these are the slides for TPA. So in closing, for my part, the engineers are going to tell you what we're doing, and tell you why we're doing it. One, it really cleans up phase 6, lets us have more product. 2, it eliminates that next phase. You guys don't want to see this in there, coming through site plan approval on another phase. And 3, it gives both the homeowners that live there now and the future homeowners something they really want. Pickleball is all the rage. My buyers want pickleball, and the current buyers really want a gathering space. So we are all in agreement. We have an agreement that is very thick. I've signed it and executed it. The homeowners, there's some that are traveling and things like that. We're all in agreement, and it will be signed and done relatively soon. But if Ralph, you want to come say anything, or just make a thumbs up?
I'm Ralph Balco. I'm the president of the Committee Master Association. We worked with EG Homes for the better part of the year in developing the plans that are being presented. We've had multiple meetings, number of revisions. All of this has been shared with everybody, all of the residents within all of our communities. I'm sure you're aware that our master association now consists of 3 HOAs in addition to the golf homes, and now the addition of EG Homes as well. But this was definitely something that we shared with everyone, and we did develop an agreement with our attorneys, the village that I agreed, as well as EG Homes. That developed it, we reviewed it, and as Matt mentioned, it's in the process. So we are pleased with what's being presented here. We are pleased with the fact that we now have an additional 9,000 square foot clubhouse that is used within the village of Upton Springs. The original clubhouse was built 20 years ago. It was not built to handle all of these additional developments that have occurred. So we're hoping that phase 5, phase 6 will end it. Our community will be completed, and I think we have all of the amenities that we need to be happy and enjoy our community. Thank you. Any questions? Anybody?
Do you guys have any questions for me?
Yeah.
I am the master developer, so I don't plan to build anything outside of 5 and 6. I'm done.
That's it. Anybody have questions?
I do have a series of questions. I have a few, so I want to defer to anybody who might be quicker than me.
Anybody else on board? Any questions for John?
Do you want Oliver to go first and then go to questions?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you had another.
Well, that covered a lot of it. I brought all my stuff, and he's covered so much of it. So, for the record, Oliver Gaffney, landscape architect with TPA Design Group, 85 Willow Street, New Haven. I'm going to talk about the big care package in front of you. It's a little bit scary. We actually changed the sheet sizes when EG Homes said we can't print at 42. That doesn't represent everything that's been changed. That's in the site plan modification in front of you. We just felt like EG Home, the town, everybody should be working from the same set of sheets, not somebody at 30 by 42 and then a new sheet here. Just make things a little bit cleaner. So as Matt explained, Oxford Greens has been this iterative process, 26 years now from the master plan and building out phases. Up in front of you is the key plan that sort of explains where all these different elements are. Matt, I think, explained maybe 9 different changes that we're going to be talking about. The reason why we're here and not coming back to you 9 different times is we sat down with Steve, Jessica, and talked about what's the right way to do this? What's sort of the common sense, how do we sort of tell the story? And the comment that we got back is like, just come into the commission. We could do a lot of these like little mini changes, but then it's bumpy, it's not clean, it doesn't make a lot of cohesion and sense in terms of if they're actually in construction. So we've talked a little bit about phase 7. That has always been a part of the community. 768 homes is the grand total. There's going to continue to be 768 homes. As Matt explained, we've got 17 phase 7 that are getting reallocated. That's in the spirit of the site plan modification. Phase 5, we covered the change to attached units. That's in 5A, there's 12 regulations in terms of the number of homes that can be townhouses attached versus standard. So we do comply with that. Other things that Matt didn't quite touch on that are very small, but still in the cover memo that we sent. There was a small maintenance facility that was in phase 5 area for the plow and the on-phase and grass cutting equipment. There's going to continue to be a small maintenance shed in phase 5 that's labeled as maintenance building between the two bridges. Other things to keep in mind at the pickleball building, we talked about parking. That's something that, don't go back to the other side. You know, we are going to fully pave that lot. Right now, there's a primary paved area, and then this commission many years ago decided to have an overflow area that kind of existed on paper. Now every single parking space is going to be paved and striped. There'll be drainage for it as part of this new phase. Everything's going to be in the same parking lot. There isn't going to be this grassy overflow area. Can you park there? Can't you park there? Why isn't there a curb there? Where do I go? So other things that we want to call to your attention, we did sit down with Jim Galligan, town engineer, last week, went through some of these changes that we're talking about right now. He did not have any concerns about drainage. The drainage in phase 5 is sized to be able to take 183 homes up from 169. The drainage in phase 6 can accommodate 59 homes up from 56. There is new drainage structures that are going in by the secondary clubhouse and the halfway house to take care of the new construction there. Matt talked about the idea of win-win-win. I'm going to add another win to that. We went to Inland Wetlands Conservation Commission and explained some of the thinking in terms of work and regulated areas. Phase 7 is not flat. It's sitting on the side of the hill. There's several isolated wetlands and corridor systems near it. By not building phase 7, we are reducing our work in the upland review area by over 10,000 square feet. And there's 133 feet of direct wetland impacts that would otherwise be required. None of that is on the table. We only phase 7, so that's right. So in closing, unless David's going to allow me on. Okay, we're done. We'll open it up for questions. This is all in the spirit of buttoning things up. As Matt said, we've been working on this for 26 years with TPA. We're around on the clubhouse turn here. We've got the end in sight. 768 homes. We're coming to completion of the big vision, the golf course, residential community. All of these changes are in the service of that original plan, but doing so in a way that optimizes some of the resources, whether that's community recreation, parking, consolidating developments in the original footprints that were approved in 2023. We're just trying to be efficient with our use of resources and time. So much.
Thank you. All right. I think we'll open up the commission for questions. So, limit session is a lot, so if everyone wants to go first, go first, sir.
Everybody grab a beer.
Clarification, Chair. When you showed the win-win-win and you did the voting, that was on all the changes, not just for the amenities. That was for moving the increasing some density in other areas to get rid of that phase 7.
Yes, and that's why we're doing it all at once. Because, they want this, I want to move my density. They don't want 7 developed, I would rather develop it in 1 spot. So by putting it all on the table together and our agreement, it's pretty spelled. So, it's comprehensive. The lawyers are that's the good one, the lawyers want. And we have a very thorough agreement that calculates, okay, when are we going to start? When, I'm going to have a meeting with a committee that they assign to go over the colors and the inside and some of the design features for the inside of the clubhouse. And all those things have to happen later once we have, the next iteration of plans for the clubhouse. But there's all that is in there. So that is one. All those things are together, not just the clubhouse.
If I can ask an additional question. Total number of single-family homes versus townhomes, has that ratio changed with the site plan modification?
It has changed. but it is still within the parameters that were outlined in the master plan approval. So I want to say 2010. Is that when they came in and got the right to build townhouses? I don't remember. But whenever they did that, the commission approved that I think it was 40% could be attached single-family homes and 60% had to be single-family homes. We're still within that parameter. We just added up more. That brought us up to really close to that point.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
All right, well, I'll start in the middle then, because I had a question similar to what you had. So insofar as the density, you folks are referring to the density as being with the additional attached homes as being 39.4% of 835, which was the maximum that you could have on that site, if I read everything correctly. So in fact, if you've been approved for 768, then your density of the attached homes, it's actually 42.8%.
Going to the engineer.
So that's a fair question. Actually, the maximum number of units in the entire district was set at 1,000. We would say that's in like 1999 with the original master plan. The 835 pertains to everything that is with steep slopes, wet, sort of derived that number. And then you can have 40% of the total allowable buildable area land can be, so if you have 835 units as your maximum theoretical yield, we're only building 768 of the 835. What Matt has said is that, look, I'm going to stop at 768. That's what the master plan is currently done for. You know, there's areas that are set aside for conservation, permanently set aside as open space. There's additional undeclared land. I don't want to develop it. I don't want to go chasing the remaining units. I'm stopping at 768. But I'm entitled to, by the regulation, to get up to 40% of the theoretical maximum. So that's kind of the discrepancy that we're seeing.
Okay. Then this is an interpretation. I'll be deferring to Mr. McSherry at some point, because when I read the regulation, understanding that in these developments, you could have a maximum of 1,000 homes. And my interpretation, my understanding when I read the regulation is that based on the density calculation, your percentage would be relative to the number of homes that were approved. So that's why I'm using the 768 as opposed to your 835. Okay. Help me understand the free span. You spoke about the community center is free span, like a movie set, and I imagine that you're just showing the facade right now because everything is it's going to be determined what it looks like as you go along. Am I understanding that correctly?
So in play pickleball, we can't have posts and walls on the way.
Right.
That's the free span.
Oh, okay.
So the back of the building is a free span steel structure. So
Gotcha. Okay.
The main members of the building are steel.
Like a gymnasium. It's like a gymnasium.
It is,
okay.
But it's
Okay. So if it's going to be a multi-purpose room of sorts, right? Because you want to have that flexibility. And you said it would be able to accommodate roughly 650 people. I think you cited that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd just like to know who will it be made available to? Is it going to be something that's strictly for the residents of the community? Will they be able to generate revenue? Or is the anticipation to generate revenue by inviting outside individuals to rent it?
It is a HOA piece of property. So the association will own it, and it's there for the enjoyment of the association and their guests. It is not a revenue producing property. It is there for the association. And if you ever get into it, and there's actually agreements with the golf course that they're not allowed to rent things out for different purposes. Okay. You know, and that's all part of the original plan. You know, so HOAs don't like to create income off of their amenities because that changes the tax structure. Okay. So I don't pursue that.
And I did notice on item number 3, you did relocate the maintenance area. And what was the thrust behind the decision to relocate that?
It was in the, small amenities area that was in phase 5, it was right there. So we're using that area to gain 5 more houses. And it was right next to people's houses. So we searched hard and we found a spot that wasn't in wetlands, that wasn't disturbance, that was, you know, a nice place that we could put it. That it's, when they show up at 5:30 in the morning to get ready to plow snow and they put their reverse alarms on, they're not waking somebody up right next to them. So that's why we located where we located.
Now, is the storage building new? I think you referenced the storage building as being one of the items on your tip list. Is that?
It was a requirement, by this commission in the conditions of approval for phase 5, that we built that building. There was no approved building or anything like that. And again, anytime we build a structure, we still have to go through all the town staff. Okay, here's the building that we want to build, here's the power, this is the plan, and the building official will dictate how that happens.
Okay, parking. We talked about that 122 spaces that was just the grassy area. And you do reference 264 paved. So based on your presentation, am I correct in understanding that 264, they're actually new, right? So we didn't already have 264, you're creating 264, so you're absorbing, creating that additional mandatory parking that was part of the original approval, correct?
We're actually up to 324.
324
So
with the 65 for the
with the
pickleball.
additional 65.
Okay, all right, that's what I thought. Okay. All right, so that takes care of all the overflow. Okay. What's going to be offered in the halfway house? I've seen different amenities based on who's constructing them. Some of them are very, very basic with very limited concessions. What is the anticipation that will be offered here?
So that is a structure that I won't control.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be controlled by the golf course. That separate entity is the kind of third leg of the stool here. But it is, you know, they anticipate doing hamburgers, like a grill,
okay,
and beverages and that kind of stuff. Right now they have it set up like a table and grill out of the 9th tee, and that kind of holds things up there, or people try to rush all the way over. So they were looking for, you know, they were looking to get something, might never build it, but they'll have the ability to build it from the agreement of the homeowners and PG&E.
all right. So the anticipation is that it's going to be a little bit more than grab and go.
No, it'll be a grab and go. It'll be like you drive up in the way they wanted us to show it is they're actually going to put a little roof over the cart path. So you drive in, get your stuff, get back in the cart, and go.
Okay,
So,
just, I was thinking
there's
food
no-
package, okay, but it's,
yeah, there's no sit
Just-
down there, there's nothing. It is.
Get back to-
I'm
get
sure
back
they
to the
have
greens.
a sign that says, you know, order your food on the 9th hole, so when you get to the 10th, you're going. Playing this slow enough.
okay, that was it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anyone else? Any questions for this applicant? Oh, just to be sure. Couple questions. You're eliminating phase 7, which had 17 units in it, and the improvement of the roadway down to Autumn Ridge, which would have been eventually connected to phase 7, I presume, is going to, it's not going to get that traffic coming down that roadway.
Correct. There's still that emergency exit that crosses that part 3. That's still there, and that will continue to be there to operate for the homeowners, but we won't have any traffic.
But I think about when phase 7 was developed, would that have become a roadway down to Autumn Ridge?
No, it was just another cul-de-sac. It was a dead end cul-de-sac with 17 more houses.
And getting back to Commissioner's question regarding the density, and our regulations do talk about 1.25 dwelling units per acre, and that's how you did your calculation and come up with the 835. And that's the maximum number you can build. And eventually, if you got to the point you come back here and build up to 835, sorry. And
that leaves the 40% number, the number you're at now. And that's how the calculation is done. It's in our regs that way. So the maximum number they can build the entire site.
And that's the clarification I was looking for, not what was approved, but what the entire site could accommodate. Okay, thank you, Kevin.
And I was trying to do my math with my toes, but I had to take out the calculator, so. But that's how you arrive at your number.
Okay, anything else? No? Okay. Let's see, I don't know if there's any discussion we have to do, we're done, right?
Well, it's not a hearing, it's a presentation.
No, it's not, right, it's not a hearing, it's not a hearing. So, actually, I'll throw it over to the commission. Anybody want to make a motion on this?
I'd like the opportunity to just take everything that we heard tonight and digest it.
Okay, I believe Carl feels the same way.
I feel the same.
Everyone else? Yeah, okay, so we're gonna table this.
And I'm not clear on whether we need to approve this or not.
I think in the history of Oxford Greens and the presentations that have been made, I think we want to do a vote to approve the modification, modify the modification, or disapprove the modification. I think that would be consistent with what we've done previously. And I think we should take a vote on it, and I think the commission should be comfortable in making the vote.
Okay, so everyone wants a little time to digest this, right? So.
And write a motion.
Yes, sir. I knew that was coming.
Because right now, the only motion I could make is to say that we're gonna approve what they said.
Actually, I do have one more question that comes to mind, Mr. Chair, if that's all right. With the multi-purpose room being able to accommodate up to 600 people, and granted it's going to be used, it'll be used for the homeowners, the people that are actually living there, anticipating they could have guests coming in from outside, right, which is a reasonable assumption. Is the parking that we have on the plan still adequate for that?
The parking on the plans is adequate for that, and we have an agreement between the golf course and the homeowners association that kind of deconflicts any simultaneous events. Let's say that the golf course would have, the biggest tournament that they could have. Well, the homeowners are in agreement that they don't have the biggest party that they can have at that same time. So both share that lot, and they deconflict the use of that parking lot. And that agreement is in writing, and it's part of this voluminous one of the things we have here.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna table this to the next meeting, right? Sound good?
I'll make a motion to table the disposition of Z-25-133 until the next meeting on January 6th.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay. Take your job from me. All right, so next up is Z-25-131 Chestnut Tree Hill Road. Instead of public hearing date. Owner and applicant, 234 Chestnut Tree Hill Road. Group Sofair, E.E. John Paul Garcia and Associates, PC Engineers and Surveyors, 190 Fairwood Road, Bethany, Connecticut. Application is for 2 lot three subdivisions of 8.26 acres. And create a 2.76 acre building lot.
Quiet, please. Could you take your discussions outside? Thank you.
Folks. Hey, Karen, what do you guys tell me?
Set them straight.
We have to set a public hearing for application. Idea, where are we?
So we're going to have on January 6th, Scott Volpe will be back. Probably. Yeah. So we have January 6th. I mean, I think it's pretty,
This is
pretty straightforward.
Yeah, all right, somebody make the motion, I read the application.
I'll make a motion to set a public hearing date of January 6th, 2026 at 7 p.m. for application C-5 at 131, 234 Chestnut Tree Hill Road.
Oh, David, does he want this USB?
I'll second. All right, motion seconded, everybody in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion passes. Okay.
Well, it's not part of the record. It's not a hearing. So.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. You know that then the computer will yell at her.
Although it would be nice to have that presentation for my, thank you. Perfect.
All right, let's move on to the zoning enforcement. Mr. McSherry, what do you got for us?
Did you call me McSherry?
Sorry.
That's an upgrade, don't worry. That's an upgrade.
Sorry, Steve, sorry.
You can take it. I have a new use permit for 2123 Nichols Road. There was a court case on this, so I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of what's going on out there. Property got sold, same use, just different owners.
Same use, different owner, okay.
Basically, you can see the page 1 and 2 are, that's the first statement of use, and page 3 and 4 are the ones that I just received. Basically, it's the same, but because of the history, Attorney McSherry's convinced me to bring it to the commission and have a nice look at it. Normally on a use permit, we do in-house and I give you a list at the end of the month or 2 months, whatever we do. So it's like a McDonald's changing hand to a McDonald's, basically, with just new owners. This was Hawley Road and Nichols Road. There was a crusher out there, if you guys remember all this.
So we have change of ownership.
Basically, yes.
No other change.
No, not that I could see. I read his statement of use. Their new statement, I had them put in there the salt and sand during the day and after hours for snow maintenance as needed, which was in the first one too, I thought. Yes. So
it's changing hands from TC Partners to FC Land Holdings? Is that part of the same thing?
FC Land Holdings, correct. Changing partners, yes, you are correct. Just to make you aware, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. So I got.
The other thing is it's a special exception. So that's already recorded in the land records and specifically outlines what the details of the use is. So that's not changing, that's not being modified. If they wanted to come in and do something different, they'd have to come in and modify it, which they could do, but it's the use is staying the same.
So nothing else, right, Steve?
No.
Okay, let's move on to
I want to table the approval of invoices.
I mean,
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. All right, let's move to other business. Anything, anyone have that they want to work on?
Let me think quickly.
yes, the next meeting, I'm going to bring you an FOI request I got.
No,
I'm going to give it to you guys.
no, there's nothing else.
You
No,
bring it
we're all
home,
set.
you read it at home. Sit down with a cup of coffee and read it. That's all I'm gonna
I just want to wish everyone a happy holiday season, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy Box Stage. I know that's.
All the
what
above.
Jocelyn, but, but happy holidays and good, healthy, and happy.
I appreciate it. Same to you. Happy
Thank
holidays.
I will tell you one thing, only because I had mentioned it to Sarah. George sent me to the first NBCOG regional planning focus group. So I was there today for a couple hours. And so as I get into it, I kind of just was quiet today, and they didn't have like handouts or anything that I could bring back. But when I do, I'll definitely pass along.
Was there an agenda?
No, it wasn't an agenda. It was like certain people were invited to kind of like, I don't know.
This is for the regional POs.
Yes.
Right?
So they were trying to get input from different towns.
Okay. So great, as it goes along.
Can I follow up on a few things? Okay. We had some outstanding action items from before the election and our change in our, the new commission coming in. So one of the things that was referred to the Board of Selectmen was Jess Roll with one of the planners at NBCOG and maybe getting her some additional help. And I know you may not have answers to any of this, so it's more like, these are the things that are outstanding. Can you give us an update if you have it, or come back later on if you don't? So that's one item that we need an update on. Then we also had discussions around this, the 67 corridor moratorium that the Board of Selectmen requested of the Zoning Commission, and we know that that's not a turnkey. So that's something that we should probably start to think about how we're going to approach that and talk about how we're going to handle it. Then, Dan, one of the things we talked about at the last meeting was maybe having better or more fluid communication between other boards. How was your overture as far as inviting other chairs to come and meet with us? Did you get to do that? Okay. Okay. And then lastly, SB 8002 is the housing bill that Lamont just signed. That is a heavy lift. So I would suggest that we as a commission think about how we wrap our arms around it, because some of that is some of the requirements hit the ground running in January.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them later in the year, some of them are phased in, but there are things that potentially have the ability to impact us. And with the floodgates, if you will, having been opened up in Hartford, I just want us to proceed very cautiously, because I will bet dollars to donuts that we're going to get slammed.
Well, obviously, right? So the first thing for me is to absorb and digest it, right? That's a task in itself.
And the legislation is better written than the last version. The legislation is better written than the last version.
Oh, really?
The last version was horrible.
Okay.
Linda has a point that this could happen. You could get stuck. But in order to get there, there's got to be engineering and surveying and work done.
Right.
So we do have some time. It's not going to all collapse in our lap on January 1, but I'll take a look at it and give you some guidance on what we can do, and give you kind of a rundown and evaluation of what it says. And that way, try to make it a little bit simpler so that we can all understand it, including myself.
That would be great.
So that we don't feel pressured by anybody that comes before us because we haven't had a chance to digest it.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, in the meantime, there are people out there, I just attended a 1-hour webinar where they had a panel of people explaining the major implications and ramifications of 8002. That was very helpful. Office of Legislative Research will also be putting out, if they haven't already, a summary of 8002 that's written in layman's terms, that's a lot easier to digest. That's the Office of Legislative Research. They're part of the government. The webinar I attended was from Partnership for Strong Communities, which is part of Housing Collective in the state. But the panel was very well balanced. So they included people previous, that professional development opportunity that I was able to participate in was presented by lawyers showing land use decisions across the tri-state area here in southern New England, and how those recent decisions are going to impact our work as planning and zoning people, as far as exactness and inclusionary zoning, and those things are now being looked at from a different perspective than they had been, and that will change how we do our job and make those changes in our own regulations.
That's great. Yeah, you know, the information is probably going to continue to come out, which is great for all of us, but that's great. Thank you for that. And if there's anything like that, Kevin, I don't know if you know anything like what Sarah was just talking about, informational portals for us to go to, anything you know about?
I can send you some stuff.
Forward it to me, please. I'll send it to the commission. That would be very helpful.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Just that it speaks a little bit to the budget piece as well. Some of this information I get through my membership to the APA and the CTAPA.
Okay.
So that I think would be something worthwhile to consider, whether they have a municipal type of membership or some way for
They do.
us as a commission to access that information. It also has a tremendous amount of training opportunities.
Oh, great. So,
Yeah, I'm a member of that.
okay.
Not that I have time to read anything on it. But, and Sarah did send me those two opportunities, as well. So if you have them and you send it to me, I can forward it. If anybody has stuff.
Yeah. If you get that stuff, just distribute it, please. to the
Yes.
commission.
So what was I saying? They do have the municipal one, and it is very, helpful.
Is it? Yeah.
It has it's a lot of information.
Great.
But I'll check on the price for that.
Yeah, and as you work on the budget, I think we need to continue to be a member. All right, that's great.
One last thing. I just want to thank Jessica for being so organized. I just find that the packets that you give us, when we look at them electronically, you're very well organized, and being a detailed queen, it really, it helps me. It helps me tremendously. So I just wanted to give acknowledgement.
Thank you.
That's great. Yes, you do a wonderful job. Carl, has something? Go ahead, Carl.
I want to comment on one of the items Linda brought up, the one you brought up last meeting about, you know, getting all the heads of the boards to come in. You know, actually, we kind of already do that. It's done, at least on the Republican side, and the Republican town committee meetings. They, as part of the agenda, they have each major board or commission, either the chair or someone else who's there, give a report on what's going on. And it occurred to me as I was driving home last week, I didn't think of it at the time. So it's kind of already there. And to be honest, that's where I get a lot of my information of what's going on. You know,
you're right.
You know,
That's a good point, Carl. Very good point.
you know.
I mean, I'm certain you guys do the same thing, I would assume.
Well, I'm unaffiliated, so
Oh, okay, go ahead.
it would be helpful to have some that was cross-partisan.
Right.
So that since we all do work together for the good of the town, it would be helpful if we all operated from the same basic information.
And it does, going back to how I tried to communicate it in our last meeting, I'm not looking for something that is a root canal, for something that's overly formal, just something very informal, as I said at that point. What's coming down the pike? If inlands, wetlands, all of a sudden, and I'm just making stuff up because I don't have an example, but if they start getting slammed with certain kinds of inquiries, or they hear that something is coming down the pike, just to be able to know about that so that we can start our own wheels turning and formulating questions. I'm not trying to make more work or go into formal presentations where we're here till 11 o'clock. I just think that when you communicate cross-functionally, horizontally, vertically, I think everybody benefits.
Well, I think to your point there too, is wetlands is one of those that speaks at
That you're right about
and
that.
has a lot of impact.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It goes inland wetlands, then it comes to us. Yeah.
In town committee?
Huh?
No, no, not- not-
Yeah, but we're, but no
Oh,
one.
no.
That's not one that we hear.
They don't. Republican Tom either. No, but I'm saying, you know, I'm sure you talk to the inland wetland
I
person
do.
all the time because she's right there, you know?
Actually, Steve and Mike yap more than me and Denise.
Yes, we shop talk all the time about stuff.
If, Mr. Chairman, or just, I'll just throw this out there. I mean, I know other boards, I know the Board of Ed has liaison.
Mhm.
I mean, although, and I know we're on video, I love the idea of inviting people to our meetings. I don't think that we're gonna get any bites right about now. I mean, I don't know, as things move forward.
You're right.
So I mean, maybe at this point, we need to put the first foot forward. And even if I send you the wetlands minutes, at least you know what they approved. You know, so you know what's either coming or,
Yeah, like, I was just saying,
yeah.
So that's a good point, right? You get that kind of document, you can just send it on to us.
Except that we all have access to it. Let's not make more work for Jessica.
Oh, I can add it to the, I won't put the actual minutes, I'll just put the link in to send you to the minutes. Let me write that down. If I'm not writing it down, you gotta tell me to, because I'm just talking.
Just let me be on record as being the one that didn't want to make you do anything, okay?
Yes.
No extra tasks. We can self-serve.
All right. Anything else, folks?
That's my people pleasing coming out there.
All those in favor?
Wait,
All right.
whoa, who made a motion? Who made a motion? Josh. Who seconded? Carl. And it is, I don't have a second.
9.
All right.